Hi, I'm Joe Basil, and welcome to the Weekly D. If you notice, my faux hawk has melted. Actually, it just didn't feel like putting up. It kind of fell to the side, and so I kind of just grabbed some hairspray and kind of pushed it up and over. And as I walked past my wife this morning, she said, "What's up, Twilight?" And so I got a pretty good laugh out of that. So I thought you would enjoy this crazy hairdo for me. Isn't that funny what makes crazy? In my world, a hair parted to the side is crazy. But normal is a 5-inch faux hawk that jumps off of my head. But anyway, I'm glad you're here joining me today for the Weekly D. And we're going to jump right in. I had a friend who said, "Hey, man, I like the Weekly D. Let's get to the passage right away." All right, so just remember, you got to ask yourself, what is God like? What should I be like? And what verse is speaking to me? Today, I'm looking at Luke 19, talking about Zacchaeus, because this is the passage that we'll be referencing, one of the passages we're referencing in our new series called Practical Atheist. Are you who you say you are? Do you say you believe in God, yet live like He doesn't exist? That's what we're looking at today. And so Luke 19, and the question for this week is, I believe in God, but I trust in money. And so that's the kind of the theme for this Sunday at the OTC at 10 a.m. But here we go. Let me say a prayer for us, and then we're going to begin. Father, thank you so much for a chance to be here. I know I haven't been around in 2 weeks. Things have been kind of crazy, but we're back. And thank you, Lord, for just a chance to be able to share your word with other people, but also for you to teach me. Praise all in your name, Jesus. Amen. All right. Luke 19, verse 1. Jesus entered Jericho and was passing through. A man was there named Zacchaeus. He was a chief tax collector and was wealthy. People brush by this stuff all the time. So you're like, Zacchaeus was a wee little man was he. So you hear Zacchaeus, and you're like, oh, I'm already going into the song. As opposed to thinking about who he was. So Zacchaeus, more importantly that he was short, I know that becomes a big part of the story, so we've got to start by saying, he wasn't just a tax collector. He was the chief tax collector. Tax collectors were hated. They were hated. They worked for Rome against their own people, against the Israelites. And so here there was this Jewish guy who took money from his own people for the country that is really basically has Israel under its thumb. So they were hated and despised. They made them hated and despised, but they were rich. They basically made the rules. They basically took money for Rome and for themselves. So a little bit for Rome, a little bit for me. And then think of multi-level marketing. So the higher up you got, you not only got a piece of Israel's money, you got a piece of the tax collectors under you money. So Zacchaeus got a piece of your money, a piece of the tax collectors' money, and then so Rome got some, he got some of yours, he got some of the other tax collectors. He was making a killing. And so it says he was wealthy. Of course he was wealthy. He was extremely wealthy. He wanted to see who Jesus was. So basically, that's what happens. We got this rich guy, super rich, but despised. He wanted to see who Jesus was. But being a short man, he could not because of the crowd. I love that it says he's a short man. Not every short man has small man syndrome, but a lot of short men do. I don't know if you know any short men, but they tend to overcompensate. So here we have a guy who's a rich guy, and he has power and wealth. So I think that all plays into the kind of guy he was. You know what I mean? He's like, I got power over you. You may be taller than me, but I got power. And so he took money. He took advantage. And he compensated for being short. So it says he was a short man. He couldn't see over the crowd. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore fig tree to see Jesus, since Jesus was coming that way. It's very interesting. It's actually not a very respectful thing to do. First of all, in that culture, men didn't run. So already he ran. Then he climbed a tree. This is a man of stature. This man really wanted to see this Jesus, really wanted to know who this Jesus was. When Jesus reached the spot, he looked up and said to him, "Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I must stay at your house today." Wow. So he came down at once and welcomed him gladly. So here we have this nationally famous rabbi. Remember, there's not TV or movies, so everybody knows about Jesus. So that means Jesus is having such an influence on the culture that word is spreading about him, that people are talking about. Become famous today, all you have to do is have a YouTube where you shake your butt or get naked or get hit in the groin with a football, and all of a sudden 4 billion hits. Or sing bad songs like Chocolate Rain, or you name it. and you're famous instantly. But not in this culture. People, he must have been doing something so great that people thought it's worth talking about and spreading the information and asking, have you heard? So Jesus is coming to Jericho and people already know who he is. And men of stature like Zacchaeus are climbing trees to see this man that they've all been hearing about. And so here we have this despised man and the rabbi, possibly the Mashiach, the Messiah, the Christ, the one who's come to redeem Israel, the anointed one, the king of Israel, wants to stay with a man who's been milking Israel, a man who's been abusing his power and hurting his own people. That's what's going on right now. That's what's happening. So of course, he welcomed him gladly. He probably couldn't even believe that Jesus even knew who he was or even cared about him because every other Jew hated him. All the people saw this and began to mutter, he has gone to be the guest of a sinner. Well, you know what? It's an accurate statement. The crowd actually has it right. Zacchaeus was not a good man, and he's done some bad things. But they can't believe that Jesus, a rabbi, would go and stay with this kind of a person. But Zacchaeus stood up and said to the Lord, look, Lord, it says exclamation point, like, look, Lord, I need to get this off my chest type of thing. Here and now, I give half of my possessions to the poor. And if I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay back 4 times the amount. You know, only 2 stories earlier in Luke records before this story, it says the blind beggar receives sight. Then before that is the story about Jesus predicts his death. And then before that's the rich young ruler. It's an amazing contrast to 2 rich people who encounter Jesus. One encounters Jesus, the rich young ruler. Here's what he must do. Here's about giving everything away and walks away sad because he had great wealth. This guy meets Jesus and Jesus doesn't get a chance to talk. But he says, you are the Messiah. I know who you are. He calls him Lord. He calls him Lord, not Sir, Lord. This is a divine encounter. He says, you are the Son of God. All that I've heard is true. You are the Messiah. And this culture was expecting the Messiah to be the Son of God. Check out my series on the Messiah and hearing about that was an expectation of the Messiah, that he would be divine. And so he says, you are the Messiah. You are the Lord. Listen, I give half of everything I have to the poor just by meeting you. And if I've cheated anybody 4 times, I'll pay back 4 times. Here is a man who's revealing where his heart is. It says, where your heart is, there your treasure will be also. Money is not this guy's master. He's not bound by money. God is his master. And he makes it very clear. Jesus said to him, today salvation has come to this house, because this man too is a son of Abraham. Wow. For the Son of Man came to seek and save what was lost. And this makes me emotional just thinking about Zacchaeus. Those words must have really said something to him, because it's probably been a long time since he was called the son of Abraham. He's probably been called a traitor, a man who's betrayed his people, that you are no Jew, you are no son of Abraham, the way you've treated your people. So hear those words, Jesus knowing the exact words that Zacchaeus needed to hear. Lots of things Jesus could have said, but probably nothing spoke closer to Zacchaeus' heart than to say, you are a son of Abraham. You may have thought for a long time and heard that you're not, but today you live up to your heritage, you do your people proud, and today you are a son of Abraham. Go ahead and pause this and take a minute and ask yourself, what is God like here? What should I be like? And what verses are speaking to me? I'm going to do the same. All right, well, welcome back. Didn't take me very long. What God is like as I read this is God knows the words to speak to me that I need to hear. He doesn't fumble around for the right ones. He knows the exact words that speak to my heart. And that's exactly what God's like. He knows me. And he speaks my heart language. So what should I be like? Is I'm going to believe him, and I'm going to trust him. I'm going to believe that he knows my heart, and he knows how to speak to me. He knows how to give me the desires of it. And he knows not only what I need to hear, but just what I need. He knows me. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give him more credit and believe that he can raise the dead, believe he can do the impossible, and he can do the impossible in my life. And the verse that's speaking to me is verse 9. Jesus said to him, today salvation has come to this house, because this man too is the son of Abraham. Thanks for joining me for the Weekly D. We'll see you this Sunday at the OTC if you're in LA at 10 a.m. for the continuation of Practical Atheist. I believe in God, but I trust in money. And if you're not able to join us in LA, go to our website, olivetreecommunity.com, and you can check out the series online there, or you can also search us on iTunes and search out Olive Tree Community on iTunes, and you can check out the podcast. Blessings, and thanks for joining us.